Hello and welcome to another video. And in this video we're going to be talking about the situations of the farmers and how the government want black people, yes, you heard me right, black people to come back to the fields, to work for the immigrants that already left. But the funniest part of this video, and I was just laughing for like an hour before I started this video, is that Donald Trump, the orange buffoon, is regretting voting for himself. I thought this day never will happen. And he admitting that, that he regret voting for himself in a in the front of the TV, in front of everybody. It will never happen. But here, I got you all the details, I got you all the details. I got you. And I even have you the interview when he's saying, I regret voting for myself. It would be even funnier if the situation of the country it wasn't that bad. But yes, get ready. Please don't forget giving a like, comment, and subscribe. Help us to support liberal media. So let's roll it.
It's all gone. Everything is gone.
Also, everybody says in the comments, Project 2025, didn't you read that? That's his platform. From my understanding, that wasn't his platform. That's not what he's running on. And I never thought I'd be on the political side of TikTok because it's definitely not something I'm interested in. I'm interested in the farm side of TikTok. Project 2025.
Apparently the Republicans thought if they got rid of the illegals and they put more financial pressure on the black communities and the people of color that are American citizens, that we would want to go in the fields and we would want to do the work that the previous citizens that hadn't yet to obtain their citizenship would do. Now, hear me out. When the produce immediately changed, at first I was a little annoyed. I live in Arizona for perspective. So yeah, they here. They out here for real. And it hit us immediately. Do you hear me? When the produce went bad, at first, and not bad, but like it just was, you could tell. Like you can tell the difference. At first I was a little annoyed, but then I sat back and was like, no, actually, no, for real. That's what they need. They need to see that. And it wasn't just the produce. That's the crazy part. It was the produce and so much other shit that immediately like came like a wave through Arizona. They needed that wake-up call. I've been staring at a house that has been taking upwards of at least, I want to say 7-8 months to finish. Before they left, I used to watch, because this is where I live at, the whole strip is being developed. I watched them complete an entire development in under a year. I watched them complete an entire development in under a year. For perspective, it's a big ass development too. The entire development was done in under a year. There are houses on this strip in the past 6 months, they just been sitting. I had to stand still. Crickets. Where y'all at? When the produce went bad, I was annoyed at first, but then I said, no, they need this wake-up call. They need to know the contribution, citizenship or not, that these people actually make to this country. They need to understand that a land that was already built off of stolen land does not give you the right to kick people out when their ancestors were indigenous to this land. You need to understand the contribution and the amount of work that they did the jobs you didn't want to do, that I don't want to do on a daily basis. You also need to understand their contribution. Now, Trump wants to bring them back legally. Because he's like, Them niggas is not trying to get out there in the sun, and they not trying to do none of that work, and not. Why? So you can treat us 10 times worse? You gonna have to pay to play, baby. You gonna have to pay them people to come back here. You gonna have to pay them people to come back here. Y'all humiliated them in front of the whole world in the nastiest, most vicious ways. You gonna have to pay them people to come back here. Oh, and just so you know, our produce has increased. So I know they let some of y'all back in. I know they let some of them back in. Don't lie. I know they pushed some of them applications through and was like, listen, when can you clock back in? Okay? Everything's going to shit. I bet it is. I bet it is. I bet it is. You need to issue a very public apology. You need to offer them something. Offer them something. Offer them something. Excluding the Cubans that was like, oh my God. I vote for Donald Trump. Lead them out. They wasn't doing no work, no way. They wasn't doing no work, no motherfucking way. They think that they white. Lead them out. But yeah, y'all, Donald Trump said that because the black people don't want to do the jobs that the illegal citizens that they deported, because they don't want to do those jobs, they gonna have to let some people back in. Y'all, they built Alligator Alcatraz without even so much as thinking about. And now that I think about it, I don't think that they're going to let them back in without putting them through like a Squid Games kind of situation. Let me know what y'all think. Am I the only one that's clocking tea? Because you just built Alligator Alcatraz. And there has been a 60-minute video about you dumping people's bodies in the ocean and bodies washing up along the shore. So, I don't know. Maybe you should have thought this one through.
And yes, I'm just telling you, I'm not the only one. I'm happy that I found her because I'm not the only one that is laughing about all this situation. It's just these things, if it wasn't so serious, it was like, you would just laugh all day, like holding your belly, because it's just hilarious. It's just freaking hilarious. So somehow these people, these MAGA people, yes, let's get the immigrant out. Let's get them out. Who's gonna build our roads? Who's gonna build our houses? Who is going to pick up the product on the fields? All these type of jobs are done. No for all, let me tell you, it's no for all Latino people. Because it's some Latinos that don't do that. Because the more harder working people are the Mexicans. Mexicans and people from Central America are the ones that do those type of jobs. Because all the ones that come from South America, most of the time they all have visas and they have some degree of education. So they easily can navigate to the country to get a job that is like qualified job. So these people that come to do this skill work, because it's a skill work, it's just not, nobody can just go on the sun in the middle of the afternoon and pick up strawberries for 10 hours at $14 an hour. Nobody's gonna do that. Who's gonna do that? Comment below. What do you think? Would you do that type of job for $14 an hour? Just get your skin burned, and not only that, because remember, they are putting poison in our food. So all those strawberries, all those lettuce, they have on the field, they are heavily treated with pesticides. So at the same time that you are just collecting and doing a job that is like super hard labor, at the same time you are kind of killing yourself at the same time, because the pesticides that they put on the product, it have been proven that with the strawberries and the blueberries, if you can like blend it, the strawberries and the blueberries, you just have just pesticide on it. Like if you can use the blueberry and the strawberries to just pesticide the plants again. That's the amount of pesticides that they are putting in our food. And those people, bless their hearts, they put their life on the line for they can provide the products that we need, that they can bring the bacon that we need to eat, and the meat and everything. They do all the heavy work, they do all the heavy lifting. And now you're gonna love this clip, because this is the clip, the one that is coming, where Donald Trump regrets voting for Donald Trump. Let's roll it.
Trump went on Fox News and basically said, we shouldn't have kicked the immigrants out. The farmers ain't got nobody. The inner city people ain't gonna do it, so we need to bring them back.
Sending them back, and then they're schooling, they're learning, they're coming in legally. We have a lot of that going on.
This
so we're
guy.
taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody, these are these people, you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that.
Damn right, the people in the inner city ain't doing that work. He basically thought he was gonna deport everybody and then we was gonna go back in those fields. What the hell this man was thinking? Those days is over and they ain't coming back. Now he wanna think about bringing the immigrants back because farmers are struggling. You should have thought about that beforehand. You already knew these people wasn't gonna survive because you took away they people to help run they shit. Now he doubling down and he want them to come back legally. Man, get the fuck out of here.
How you guys like that interview? He just went in Fox News and almost like, I think that I make a mistake. And it's hard for Donald Trump to admit that he make a mistake because he never. Remember how he went? Do you remember the 3 guys in New York? That he accused them, the black guys, okay? That he accused them to be rapists, okay? He accused these 3 black guys to be rapists. He went on and on and on and on and on. The guys went to jail. I don't know if you remember the story. I don't remember exactly how the story happened. But if you remember the story, how it happened, just comment below how the story happened. And I will make sure that I pin your comment. But it was these 3 guys. Okay, I'm just going to make the story short. And I know some of you guys already know the story, and that's okay, but I'm just gonna tell the story because I know there's a lot of people, they watch me from other countries. They watch me from Canada, they watch me from China, they watch me from Africa, so they don't know. So it was these 3 guys. It was a girl that got raped. And it was 3 black guys in New York. In the beginning of the investigation, they thought that these 3 guys were the ones to rape this girl. So, but they didn't do, they at that time, they didn't investigate. They was in the process of investigating the case, okay? And he just went on the TV, Donald Trump, and he went there, yes, they are the rapists, they were the one, and the girl was white on the top of that. The girl was the one, they was the one that raped, they were the rapists, he put so much pressure on the authorities and the police to arrest these 3 guys. I don't remember it was 3 or 4, but just correct me below, please, because I don't remember the full story, but I'm talking and that came to my mind. And he went, yes, they raped that girl, and it was then. And the guys always like, we were innocent. We don't know what you're talking about. We had no idea that what you're talking about. And he just went on and on and on and on and on and on. And they went to jail. I don't remember if they went to jail for 5 years or 10 years. Correct me below, okay? And when they get out of the jail, they was proven with a DNA test. In that time, we didn't have DNA, and then it came to the DNA thing, It was proven for DNA tests that they wasn't the ones that raped that girl. Donald Trump never apologized. Never. A news anchor was talking to him in an interview. And she just asked him, yeah, you just accused these guys, because in that time they were like almost kids. They was like 18 or something, 17. They were, some of them wasn't completely adults. You accused these kids the rape. And he did never, sorry, my camera, I had to cut the video because my camera, the battery went off. He never apologized for that. Never, never. He just say, oh, and the lady told him, what do you have to say to these guys? They just went to jail for like 10 years or 6 years. I don't remember exactly the amount of time. Oh, they got proof innocent, yeah? And that's all he say. He then never apologized to these people that he made them to waste 6 years, 10 years of his life. So in Donald Trump vocabulary, that interview that you just saw, okay, he's apologizing, and at the same time he's regretting to voting for himself. I never think this day is gonna come when Donald Trump apologize for something and then on the top of that regret voting for himself. In a pure Donald Trump vocabulary.
It's always going to be wild to me that people voted for Donald Trump to get rid of all of the migrant workers. And they really expected people of color to go pick those jobs up. Like, they're really expecting droves of fucking Jamals and Jaquans and Tavions to, you know, go out to those cornfields, those tomato fields, those wine fields. They really expected him to go up into those manufacturing jobs, all those trades jobs. You know, they executed a plan without really thinking about how it was going to happen after they executed. Everyone's just going to fall in line. See how easy that works out? We're all holding out for higher wages. And they're really like, oh, we got you more jobs. $10 an hour to fucking stand in the field for 12 plus hours harvesting. I'm good.
It's all gone. Everything is gone.
So like this fruit is not going to be able to be harvested because it's too far gone.
That's because on day one of the harvest, about half of their 120-person workforce wasn't there.
Our harvest workforce is primarily immigrants. I would say the majority are from Mexico originally. They are skilled workers who come up every single year. A lot of people have a lot of fear based on their ethnicity, which is an unfortunate thing.
Chandler says the fear over ICE raids isn't just present at his farm, but across many farms like his. For him, it means an unprecedented loss.
So we are in a situation where we're going to have to leave probably 300 to 400 tons of fruit on the tree. It's going to be devastating.
He and his wife are even looking for second jobs to make up for the loss. But on top of those fears, Chandler's wife is from Mexico, and the knowledge that people who look like her and his children don't feel welcome hits close to home.
We've got regular people out here who are helping us out. They're not criminals, they're not bad people. They're just like you and I. They're just trying to make a living. They're, you know, taking care of their families. And for them to be in this country and in fear, that doesn't feel very good.
This is the consequences when we chose the wrong direction. Oh my God. Yes. It is what it is. Make America great. Yeah, low prices.
So now Cheeto Puff is saying that he want to bring the immigrants back to the United States because the inner city people, us, are not getting in the field like he thought that we were going to. Y'all really voted for that big soggy Cheeto Puff to sit up here and play Jeopardy with our lives? He is literally playing Jeopardy with the American lives, and y'all sat there and voted for that. What did this man really think was getting ready to happen? You gathering enough people to go snatch people off the streets, taking them out the fields. Now stuff starting to fall, produce not being produced. Now you want to bring them back. You're going to have to pay them to bring them back. Do you know how you embarrass them folks, snatching them off the streets, throwing them in vans, throwing them in cars, putting stuff over their head? They don't know where they're going, throwing them in these camps, mistreating them, and now you want to bring them back? This is your president, right? Bravo to y'all, bravo to y'all.
Now, did somebody say that our President Trump was on Fox today crying about he made a mistake sending all them immigrants away? Did he say he made a mistake deporting all them immigrants? Yeah. Did he say the farmers were gonna be suffering and who was gonna tend the fields out there? Did he actually think who he thought was gonna do it? The African American people? Oh, we won't do that no more. We won't do that no more. I got people that own businesses. I got people that sell t-shirts, sell purses, sell everything. I got people that own stores. You know, we don't do that anymore. I even heard that he said what would happen to the, I think he was talking about the immigrants like working and they back, because it's back-breaking work. So he was like, what would they do if their back was broke? What would they do? They said they'd die because if their back ain't working, they ain't no good. You know, we don't do that anymore. We don't tend to fields and stuff. And I tell you something else you figured out. You figured out when you start raising the price on these vegetables and all that stuff, because we know how to, you know, raise crops and stuff. A lot of us started growing our own vegetables. Here, one of my coworkers bought me some squash and okra the other day. You know what I'm saying? So you can't stop us. But I tell you one thing, I want to know what black person, African American person finna get out in the field and pick cotton, pick peas, pull apples and all that stuff. You damn right. You better get them immigrants back if you know what's good for you. And go ahead and give them their rights to make them legal. If I was them immigrants, I wouldn't come back to your ass, give me my legalized paperwork. Right when I get on that bus or that ship or whatever you got for them, give me my paperwork ASAP. And you need to hurry up and get them back because I'm mad anyway. We need some work done at the house. And they damn good workers. They damn good workers. They can do some good stuff around your house and they don't charge you that much. They do a damn good job. Stuff that people like, you know, my people, we don't do that no more. We just don't do that no more. We just don't do that no more. You think them folks stand in line with Jordans on, stand in line to buy a pair of $300 shoes to put on to go work in a field? Do you really? Do you think them people go buy $3,000 purses, Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci and all that stuff to go work in the field? No, we don't do that no more. Bottom line is get them immigrants back that you deported. Make them legal, when they come back. And then get them more money for what they was doing before they left. Because you know damn well they deserve it. Because you have seen, you done effed around and found out that you done seen that your plan was going to fall to pieces. Because you thought African Americans was going to go back to what they was doing back in the day. This ain't back in the day. This ain't back in the day. I don't need no 40 acres and a mule because my mama picked cotton so I didn't have to. You understand me? And I'm damn proud of it. I don't need no 40 acres and a mule because I'm set up now that I can do what I need to do and I don't have to pick cotton, peas, and all that stuff. So how dare you think that them immigrants was going to go back and we was going to take their spot? That's what you thought, but it backfired in your face. Don't let them people come back over here so I can get some work done in my house. Thank you.
Trump got his bad built, orange skin having, cankles, swollen body, ignorant ass, don't know what 2 + 2 is ass on Fox News and had the audacity to say that the inner city people are not taking the jobs that he kicked the immigrants out that were doing. We all know what he meant by inner city. He meant black. That's why he said they was taking black people's jobs. That's why he said that. That's what that meant. It was no way in hell that black people was getting out in those fields and doing that work. Absolutely fucking not. We will let that shit rot on the vine. Do you understand me? We will never have a mixed salad, a mixed fruit salad at the cookout ever again. We was never going to do it. And now you want to rethink. First off, immigrants pay into the system, even though they cannot receive anything out of the system. So you're hurting farmers, you're hurting the economy, which you're doing right now anyway, because they pay into the system. but they don't get anything out of it. Billions of dollars. Billions. Now all of a sudden, you want to bring them back. Now you want to do some type of immigration fixture, which this country should have been done, because it's damn near impossible to get legal status. They send you through all kind of stuff. And people who was able to do it, it took them 15, 20 years. That's ridiculous. But now you're going to ask them people to come back to work in the field because the farmers are now complaining? They should have thought about that before they voted for your stupid ass. You should have thought about that. They should have thought about it, and you should have thought about it. But you're truly ignorant, so you don't have a thought in your fucking head. You have some fucking audacity to do that. And if I was them, if they come back, I will charge out the ass to do that work. You need to be asking for what you are worth doing that type of work. Because you got some fucking nerve. Think black people was ever finna go out there and do it. So to those who come back in here, you better charge their ass what you worth. Make them pay. Because they should have been paying. You go kiss our ass. And to the ones coming back, you tell them to kiss your ass too.
I know MAGA mad. I know for a fact MAGA is mad. Trump regrets deporting the Hispanics. Granted, we did tell our government they have done a lot for us in this country. They've done a lot for us. But we told y'all don't want to do this. Y'all don't know what y'all asking for. Now they regretting it. And I done heard in the streets, they done already let a few people back. They done already let a couple groups back because they realized, yeah, they don't even know how to do their own fucking business without them. So, I'm sorry. But next time, to the Hispanics that voted for that man, maybe next time y'all actually fucking listen to black Americans when we trying to warn y'all about shit. Just saying. But welcome back.
And I love her. I love her. Yes, to the Latino people that voted for this, it's just even, it puzzled me. It puzzled me to see that these men insult Puerto Ricans, these men insult Mexicans, these men call the Latinos rapists. And they went and voted for this guy, this criminal, this convicted felon. Who in the society, is gonna vote for a convicted felon? How can America, what is the moral ground for we as an American, as a society, to vote for a convicted felon? I talked to a MAGA, okay, I talked to a MAGA because I do have some close friends that are MAGA. I talked to them, and I just asked them, you just don't worry that you're just voting for a convicted felon, okay, that this guy have all these charges, he's gonna be charged for all these things, all these crimes that he committed January 6th, okay, he just went against democracy in January 6th. And you know, what's your moral compacts in that? What do you think about, your kids? Be able to know your girls, because he even had girls, to think that you're just voting in office a person that is first a convicted felon, then it's just a sex tape where he just called them, grabbed them by the and he did all that, and you're just gonna vote for him like nothing happened. Where is our moral compacts? And this is the thing, the funniest part, that it is so serious, but at the same time it's funny. Okay, we had the prosecutor and the convicted fellow in the same ballot to become a president. I think that if we write this story on like we just make it like a telenovela, or we just make it like a movie, some people will not believe us. It's like you just must be lying to me. That never happened. And then the convicted felon become a president. Come on, people, come on. And yes, and I love it because you just say, okay, the Latino people that you voted for this piece of trash, you should be able to listen next time. Look what black people is telling you. Black people, they've been dealing with this crap for hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of years.
MAGA, get out there. Where are you at? You got your jobs back. You got your jobs that were taken from you. Get out there. Get out there and start working. Get to work. America first. Get out there. 100% haven't shown up to work due to immigration raids. Texas farmer says. America's migrant workers are terrified to work, but unable to stay home. So get out there, MAGA. You got these jobs back. You took them back. You voted. You got your guy in there to get rid of all of those migrant workers. So get out there. Get out there and start working. But for real, I want to shout out to the undocumented migrant workers as they were deemed essential in 2020. They stepped up when this nation needed them most. They have my utmost respect. They should see a pathway to citizenship. Period. Period. They were deemed essential workers, risking their lives in one of the most hazardous jobs in the entire U.S. labor market. They have my full respect. Thank you for your service and your contribution to this country.
They hear that ICE is coming, or they see somebody from INS roll up. Well, they just don't show up. They're scared to come to work.
Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller tells Fox 4 dairy farmers have been hit the hardest.
But on a dairy, those cows, they never stay milked. You milk them 3 times in a 24-hour period. So if the crew doesn't show up, these dairymen go into panic mode.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Do you have documents to be here?
Recent video posted to immigration rights groups' social media channels shows federal agents conducting raids on California farms. President Trump in the last week briefly paused this type of enforcement within a handful of economic sectors which rely heavily on migrant labor, like agriculture. Then it was back to business.
We're enforcing everywhere. In other words, the president has said if you are an illegal immigrant into this country, you ought to voluntarily go back and come through the proper channels.
Folks like Lee Calvert agree there's no place in America for migrants with violent criminal backgrounds, but wishes there was more gray area.
And I think there needs to be a distinction made in a pathway for the people that do want to come here, obey our laws, integrate into our societies, work in our factories, fields, wherever.
So the U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates that more than 40% of the nation's farm workers are undocumented.
They actually thought that when they got rid of all of the migrant workers, that black people would run for those jobs, as Trump had promised them in his campaign. And he kept telling them that it was the immigrants that took the jobs away from black people. Field work, out in the sun, 103 degrees, working 10 to 12 hours a day, picking fruit, picking vegetables, picking cotton. And they really thought we were going to run for those jobs. They really, really had us messed up in their mind, because they didn't know the last thing that our people were going to end up doing was being out there like we were forced to be, without no payment whatsoever. Y'all can pick your own cotton. Yeah.
No one wants to hear Farmer John with his butt crack showing, married to a Karen, complaining about losing your little farm. When you voted for me, they don't feel sorry for you. And I don't need your votes anymore, so I don't care. Bigley, Nebraskans, what did you think was gonna happen? If all you workers were Mexicans and we got rid of all the Mexicans, who's gonna be your workers? Guess what? You can take a page from the book of the Native Americans, followed by the African Americans, Chinese Americans, Indian Americans. Listen, what we're gonna do is crash the economy so all the rich people can buy up everything for super dirt cheap, including your land, Nebraska farmer dude. I don't know. And once we buy it for dirt cheap, we will hire you to work on said land. Hello, this is a tale as old as time. We've done it so many times before. And the fact that you thought you were exempt is absolutely hilarious. Bigly!
And it surprised me how the MAGA movement, how the MAGA people, you know that that's based, you know, the MAGA, they just don't want the immigrant here because it's just pure jealousy. They are jealous of them. They are jealous that they just spend all their life here in the United States and they cannot progress. They have 400 years to get ahead of the game because the black people were enslaved for 400 years. The immigrants, they are just getting here. So you just have 400 years to get ahead of the game and you couldn't get ahead. And now you just blame me because you just cannot take responsibility for yourself. You cannot take responsibility for the things that you do. And then you're just gonna blame immigrant people because you just don't have the life that you desire. Get out of here. And yes, I did have a wonderful, really wonderful birthday yesterday. I just spent that day with my family. I did have fun. And then after I finished to have fun with my family and all that, I just went and I just finished to edit the video that I just was working on it the whole day. I just worked for pieces all day, so I just finally finished to edit and I just published it really late at night. I'm glad that you guys got to watch it. And you guys take care. Thank you. So much love for you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.